Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and I believe we're on week 4 of the Low Spend January, the Three Rivers Homestead Challenge, where you kind of set your own rules, but you try not to spend hardly anything in January. You use what you have in your pantry, your freezer, your fridge, whatever you have. I've done very, very, very little spending at the grocery store, like not even worth showing you anything. I have purchased some things through Flash Food, like some clearance meats. If you're not familiar with Flash Food, I've done a couple videos on it. It's pretty much like if you go to your clearance meat sections or your clearance produce sections, stuff like that, and you purchase those things, but this is through an app at some local grocery stores. Then I can buy them online, go get them, and then you go pick them up and bring them home and you get great deals. Like one I just purchased today for $5. Well, these weren't in there, sorry. These were 64 cents. 64 cents. Anyway, and then I had this for $5 and there was 5 pomegranates in it also, but I gave those to a friend. So anyway, so all this stuff in there, plus the 5 pomegranates, for $5. And it was 64 cents. My God, I know. So things like that. I did like clearance foods. But other than that, it was pretty much my rum, my Coke Zero, my husband's Diet Sunkist, Zipper's cat food. Otherwise, he would never be quiet during these shows or this channel. And yeah, really nothing. I haven't bought cream cheese, sour cream, none of that stuff. Like nothing. I still have enough cheese. I think in the very beginning, like the first week, I may have bought a little bit of cheese, but that's it. I still got cheese in there. I got lunch meat. I got, I am getting, oh, which reminds me, I need to do that tonight. I am getting creative with my husband's lunches and some things. For the most part, I have a lot of stuff, but I've been making pudding for him for his lunch each week because I have so many boxes of sugar-free pudding downstairs, so I've been making those up. Oh, I did purchase some almond milk. So, I did, because I was out of it. I used it up. But, yeah, so very little. I've done very well. And I'm really working at my freezer, you guys. And if any of you know, and you've been here long enough, my freezers, they have a lot of stuff in them. And I actually can see to the back. Win-win! So I can move things around. I can see to the back. I've gotten a lot of big things out. Like we had, I don't think I filmed it, but we had ribs yesterday. So that's a nice big thing out of the freezer. I still got 2 more in there, but I'm very blessed with the food that I have. And it's nice to have too much. I'm very blessed. So that being said, let's see what we got for this week's What's for Dinners, what I've been using up, or for snacks for my husband's lunch. Let's see what we can get into and use what we have in our freezers, pantry, cupboards, fridge, all that stuff. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe so you can see anytime I put up any new videos. I really, really appreciate all my new viewers, all my old viewers. You guys are so awesome and I'm loving all your comments. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get going. Cheers! So for tonight's What's for Dinner on Low Spend is I have this chunk of ham. It's like smaller ham roasts or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's ham. I just put that in a crock pot and put it on high. Now I turned it down to low because my husband's on his way home, so we're just going to slice that up. It's for a Sunday dinner. And I'm just going to, I have potatoes downstairs, red skin potatoes. We don't eat a lot of them, but we do allow ourselves a little bit of a cheat every once in a while. And they were getting a little soft, so I cut off, they had some eyes growing, so I cut off the eyes. Sliced them up thin. I put some olive oil on them. I'm going to put some seasoning on them, but I'm just going to kind of fry them up. Maybe put a little cheese on them at the end and put them with the ham. We kind of did a lazy Sunday and got a wonderful breakfast in. little bit of a snacky lunch, a little snacky afternoon, and then finally he went into to work, our warehouse area, to work, and I worked on canning and doing other stuff, and so I'm really not starving, and I'm sure he isn't either, and it's getting late and I'm tired because we both worked really hard this Sunday afternoon. So I'm just gonna fry these up. Okay, I lied. So I pulled the potatoes out. I started to cook them a little bit, pulled them out. I'm gonna make a really quick scallop potato. So I got in obviously a very small portion because I only cut up 3 potatoes. But I don't want a lot of leftovers because we shouldn't be eating them anyway. So I'm just gonna cook up some onions real quick and make my little creamy sauce with cheese and stuff and put it over the potatoes and finish them off in the oven, and it shouldn't take very long because they're kind of pre-cooked now. Maybe more than pre-cooked, but it'll be fine. So I misspoke, you guys. Scalloped potatoes don't have the cheese. Au gratin has the cheese. I always get them confused. Anyway, I'm doing scalloped, no cheese. So this is just some chicken broth and some heavy cream, salt and pepper. There's onions in there that we're sauteing up and stuff, and so we're just gonna let that thicken up a little bit. And like I said, this is a very downscaled, very small version. Probably serves 2, maybe 3, probably not even that, because I just did 3 potatoes. So that's what we're gonna do. Here's my very small version of it. It's gonna go in the oven probably for about 20 minutes because they're already pre-cooked, kind of. Yum. Well, the whole family enjoys that. Look at him. He's so happy we got ham. You happy we have ham and taters? Mm-hmm. Look at him. Jesus. Little piglet. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. You know how... So, I pack my husband's lunch every morning and stuff, and usually on Sundays I try to get stuff made up ahead of time for the week so I can just throw them in and stuff in his bag. But you know, you think, okay, I'm trying not to spend anything this month, but you always have snacks somewhere in your house, right? That you can use in their lunches or in your lunches or whatever, and just put them in a cute little bag. So he loves Triscuits and the roasted garlic. I mean, come on, don't we all? And so I've had them since probably October, somewhere in there. I had them downstairs for when we had parties. Well, we never ended up using them, and I'm like, well, I need some just fillers for his lunch. Now I will portion them. I portion them because he doesn't need a lot of them, and just enough. So I'm just doing a whole bunch of the bags, and I did the whole thing. I'm doing them right now, and I'm putting them all in these bags. He doesn't need to eat them all in the next week, you know. I can give him one every other day or something like that. I also pre-portioned, hold on, I'll show you. So I have like these meat sticks, my God, in the fridge. So I've just been cutting them up and cutting some cheese up, different cheeses that I have. I've not bought any since before January. So I had pepper jack cheese, Colby Jack, Gouda, and something else in there. I think I have some mozzarella in the fridge that I bought in case we were going to have a girls' night, and then ended up not having it. So I'm like, well, I got the cheese, let's use it up. So, and he loves meat and cheese in his lunch every day. So with this and this, I can tell you right now, my husband will be a very happy camper. He will be so excited when these are in his lunch, and he will make sure he tells me about it when he comes home. I guarantee you, because he doesn't expect it. So now I still got more of these left over in the fridge. I bought these on clearance from the flash food thing. So, but you know, they're meat sticks, they're cured, they're fine. So they just sit in the back of my fridge. So yeah, so I'm getting all these paired up. So just when you think you don't have something or you're running out of something, just think, look around. What can you do? Just like those jars of pickles that are sitting in your fridge or sitting on your cupboard or in your pantries and stuff. Put them in their lunches. You know, I mean, use them as a snack. Get them out, cut them up, put them on a plate for dinner as a side. People will eat them if they're out there, but if you just keep them put away, they don't get to them. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's get going. The other thing I wanted to show you is also for lunches for my husband, leftovers. We always eat our leftovers. Like, there's very seldom ever leftovers that we throw away. So we use them for lunches. So anything I have left over, and I did make a pretty heavy bigger meat category dinners each night this week, or at least over the last week and a half or whatever. So it's like, you know, like roasts and pork loin and stuff like that. So I have some pork loin left over. Is that the pork loin? Oh no, this was the tri-tip. So I had tri-tip left here, so I already took it out, diced it up, put it in a container, so either I can throw it in his lunch or I can eat it at lunch when I come home. On my lunch, sorry, excuse me. And before I send it with him, I may put, he can heat it up in the microwave, or I may also put like a little bit of barbecue sauce or some sauce, hot sauce or something on it, a little something extra. I did make some deviled eggs. I know, they're probably, I know, but I did make them. And so I put 2 already in a container, grab and go. I can throw them in his lunch when I'm running behind in the morning. This is a pork tenderloin, and I'll probably eat this for probably 2 or 3 lunches this week. And I'll just drizzle light barbecue sauce on top of it. It's a garlic herb, but I don't care. So I'll put a little bit of barbecue sauce on it and heat it up on my lunch. And so it's portioned. If it's still in the big container in the fridge, a lot of times I don't take the time to get it out, cut it up, warm it up, just a little bits for me. So this, I took it and I sliced it all up. So it's all ready because it's convenient now and I will eat it. If I leave it in the big whole chunk, I have one other like this. So we had roast, and I put 2 of these containers together, but it's got some potatoes, carrots, roast, a little bit of the gravy in there and everything else. And that right there is going to be for my husband's lunch. I got 2 of these for leftovers, and he's going to be so excited. But if I didn't do that, it'd be still in the big container in the fridge, and then it gets pushed to the back or gets pushed out to the side, and they're like, oh shit, and it's like a week and a half later, like, what, oh man, we let the roast go bad. No. So if I do it like this, I can just grab it and put it in his lunch. I'm telling you, you gotta kind of think ahead on these things, and then you don't waste stuff. I did want to also tell you, so these are all sealed, and I'm just gonna, I pulled the bag out. I'm just gonna stick them right back in the box. So I know what they are. They're in there. Like, you can't tell what a Triscuit is, right? If he wants them, he can pull one out, but I guarantee you he won't. And I can just reach right in there and get them out for his lunch. But they're visible. They're right there. And they'll go back on my shelf. But I can just pull them out and throw them in his lunch and get it together quick and eat. I mean, look at right there. I already got cheese and meat already cut up for him. I made 2 sandwiches already for him that are left. What did I put on those? Was it the tenderloin? I did take the pork tenderloin and slice it really thin and put cheese on it and put those with mustard on and made 2 sandwiches for him already ahead of time. I'll show you just so you can see. So they're done. And I look at these cute little bags. I get them on Amazon. Aren't they adorable? They got little snowmen on them. So I wrote on here, your smile makes my day, with a heart. I always put a heart. And then you are the salt to my pepper. And put a heart on it. So these sandwiches are already done for the week. And then he'll have something warm to heat up, because it is Michigan and it is cold. And it actually snowed today. I can't believe it. And so you have that. He has the meat and cheese. He works a good 12, 14 hours most of the time. So I have applesauce, homemade applesauce that I canned. And I already have those in the I'm just telling you guys, this is the way to do things. I made coleslaw up and I put them in these containers. Here's this applesauce in the container. I took some oranges and I have like 5 bags of oranges already peeled and separated. So I can just throw these. Convenience. Convenience is the way to go. I'm just telling you. So now I can throw the stuff in there. Sometimes he does tell me I give him too much. I have to agree. But sometimes he's working late and I don't want him to be hungry. And then he still comes home and we have dinner. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I know I give you too much sometimes. I get it. All right. Anyway, I just want to show all these to you. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show you. So I also do, because you know, you can get busy, you can get really busy during the week or in the morning when you're running around, because I have to get to work and I want to make sure he has his lunch and everything else, and this helps me get stuff done. I also put a little list on the fridge so I don't forget, like that I have the Triscuits all pre-done. So I put, these are the ideas that I can throw in his lunch. I also got to put down bananas, oranges, apples. We have plenty of apples. So I put down that the meat and cheese. I have applesauce, pickles. So these are the things where you're getting down to the nitty gritty and it's Thursday or Friday and you're like, oh my God, do I even have enough stuff for his lunch or something? Because I'm trying not to spend, it's still spend January. So the most things I'm getting are like fruit or something, you know, fresh things or dairy. But I haven't had to buy any dairy yet this month because I still have cheese. I still have pepper jack cheese. I have other different cheeses to use. So we're doing good. So anyway, applesauce. I have deviled eggs in there. I have hard-boiled eggs in there because I did buy eggs. Not eggs, but Flash Food had a 6-pack of hard-boiled eggs that are already peeled and done on clearance for $1.24 for 6 of them, already peeled and done and hard-boiled. And I bought them in the past. Anyway, they had 5 of them. I bought them all. So that's why I made the hard-boiled eggs. Now we can put them in his lunch. I might make egg salad this week. Oh, I haven't had egg salad in forever. So I got the Triscuits. I do have a couple of little bags of chips, like the little single things that I have. Salt and vinegar, he loves those, so I got a couple of those that I can always throw in if I need a filler. We do have the low-carb granola bars that we get from Aldi. I still have probably 3 or 4 of those in there. Where's the bird? Can you see them? Extra cheeses in there. Like I have Gouda rounds and different stuff like that. And then obviously I have the pork tenderloin all chopped up, the roast dishes. We have bananas, oranges, apples, and pickles. So that reminds me of what I have in case I get going in the morning. I'm like, shoot, there's barely anything as lunch. And what else do I have that I can throw in here? Right here. And I'll think of more things. But anyway, I do that every once in a while when I get it all prepped and I got it in there, and it helps. It really helps. Okay, tonight's what's for dinner is, one of the things I took out is, I've told you before, we have lamb. A lot of lamb in our freezer from where I work. If you haven't heard the story before, where I work, once a year they do a lot of fair meat, and they purchase a lot of meat. It's lamb. Oh my God, my nose is running. It's driving me nuts. Stupid allergy crap. Lamb, beef, and what's the other one? Pork, sorry. So anyway, this beef is not from them, obviously. It was on clearance at Flash Food. But anyway, so I got some lamb. I like to use ground lamb and mix it with either beef or something else, and then it makes amazing meatballs. Trust me, it does. My husband loves it. I never thought my husband would ever love lamb, and he actually does. So, well, he likes it. Well, he's liked everything I made so far. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, we are going to just make some meatballs. We're going to do Swedish meatballs, but I'm using, oh my God, hold on. Much better. Okay. Let's continue to the program. So we are going to do a pound, this is a pound of ground beef. It's really lean, so that's good. And this is, and you could do it with pork. Beef and pork is really good for meatballs, but I'm using the lamb. I have pork in there, trust me, I do. But I need any reason I can to use up some of the lamb, because not a lot of people take it, and I'm not gonna let it go to waste, so I take a lot of it. And so far, I've been very successful with it, so I'm excited. Okay, let's get an egg in there. And we are going to do, let's get some seasonings. Okay, so we're gonna do some onion powder. Garlic powder. Everything's better with garlic powder. Do a little bit of nutmeg because we're doing Swedish meatballs, so you want just a little. This is coming out. Can you guys see it? I see it now. Oh, I love garlic powder smell. I love garlic smell. I usually, when I have my cooking club, I cut it up myself. And the girls laugh at me because I love the smell so much. I'm going to use, instead of a normal meatball, you would use like a bread binder or crackers or something like that, or panko or something like that, breadcrumbs. We do low carb here, so I'm just use some cheese, Parmesan cheese, which adds a little bit of saltiness to it also. So keep that in mind. If you're going to be putting salt in them, you don't want to add too much because this is pepper. Otherwise, I'll just put a little bit in. It'll be too salty. Okay, I think that's good. I'm gonna switch my ring over. I've come to the one-handed method. I'm really good at it. To make my meatballs, there's no other way than using God's gift, your hands, to make meatloaf and meatballs. There's just not. It doesn't bother me. I will say, I do take the meat out of the fridge a good half hour beforehand, because when your hands are in this and it's cold out of the fridge, it is so cold. I've done this before. I'm like, oh my God, it's so cold. But I have to sit up for a little bit, so makes a difference. You don't want to overmix. You know what it's like. Just like meatloaf, you don't want to overmix. I never understood what that meant when my mom would always say, you'll just know when it's mixed. And that is good, and she's right. You just know when you're good. All right, we're gonna make some meatballs and we're gonna fry them up in a pan. That sounds kind of cliche-ish, right? But I don't know, it's funny to me. Okay, I'm just gonna saute them up. I think I'm just gonna do this size batch and then this. I'm gonna make up meatballs and just freeze them. I don't know. Or keep them for another dish later on in the week. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, I will cook them up, but I'm only gonna do like the sauce for, I think, this size dish. Okay, real quick. You know how I said I have this? I don't need that many meatballs. So, which I could always freeze them, which you could do, but I also have some in the freezer already, and I have some I canned. You watched that video, which should be coming out soon. So, in the meantime, I think I'm going to do, and I never, ever veer for my meatloaf, but I have this much left. I'm going to add, I have some barbecue sauce in the fridge, and sugar-free. I'm going to add that to it and mix that up and make just like a little loaf, because my husband loves meatloaf sandwiches. So I'm going to add that to it. I'm going to add a little bit more cheese though to bind it a little bit more, and throw that in the oven while these are cooking. So let's do this. Just got stuff everywhere, you guys. It just went flying. All right. I gotta turn my balls over here in a minute. Don't neglect your balls, people. Don't neglect them. Yeah, why not? They'll be excited. I have lunch meat, but I'm limited on it. So this is another source of making a sandwich out of for him, right? That'd be good. And I might not do this yet, give it to him as a sandwich yet until, my hands are icky. Hold on, I gotta pause you. Okay, and I'm actually gonna put a little, we're gonna do, I guess, like a little barbecue meatloaf one. I swear to you, I never do these. I always do it my basic one. And I will say, in my cooking club with my friends, we have that once a month to cook together. We did recently do a stuffed jalapeno meatloaf. It was amazing. And I will make it for you guys one of these. days because it was very good and nothing like an original one, so I'm okay with that kind of. All right, so this is good enough. I'll put a little more on at the very end. I'm just gonna pop that in the oven, cook that as an extra for the week. The balls are coming along just fine. Don't neglect them. You want to get them all cooked up here. Obviously, you could cook the rest of these up and get those, you know, in ball form if you want, but I'm gonna do kind of 2 meals, or a lunch and a meal in one. So these little guys that cook up here, we're gonna move you to the side. Get over here, little guys. Yeah. All right. We pulled the meatballs out. They're set aside. Keep the bits, but get rid of the juice, the fat. I'm going to do a little less on the broth. I'm going to do a can of broth, but normally you probably want like 3 cups. I'm doing 2 cups because I'm doing less balls. About 1/4 cup of broth. Or, sorry, butter. Sorry, I'm going to carry you over here. Normally I pause you on everything. Screw it. Okay. Let's get that warming up, melting down. I'm gonna whisk in a little bit of this. This is the King Arthur flour. Just a little bit to make kind of like a roux. I don't want to do too much though. Obviously, if you're not eating low carb, use regular flour. I don't care. Do what you need to. We're just going to cook down the flour, you know, we're making a roux. I want to burn this. Got it on very low. All right, so we cooked it down a little bit. Turned up the heat a little bit. We're going to add in the broth. Simmer that for a few minutes. And I wanted to show you that I'm going to use some green tomato salsa that we canned. Actually, my friend canned this for me and gave it to me. Gifted me 2 jars, and so I thought, well, might as well use some up with our tacos tonight. So yay! And so I got these new size. If you haven't seen them and you eat low carb, these street taco size, oh my god, they're perfect. You know, the other ones that are for enchiladas and stuff are just way too big for tacos, but these are so perfect. Sometimes I come home and on lunch, if I have leftover taco meat or something, I just put it in one of these, heat it up in the microwave, put a little cheese on it, and I'm done in like, you know, less than a minute, and I have a lunch. Oh, yay. I heated this for like 5 seconds. I'm gonna put a little bit on here. I'll put a little bit on. And obviously you can do whatever you want for taco seasoning. I don't have any lettuce or anything like that. But let's get that out of the way. Yay! Yummy! Cheers! Okay, so for tonight's what's for dinner, I have this. I got it from Flash Food. It's been in the freezer. I thawed it out. There's 4 chicken breasts there, but they're already marinated in tomato, herb, the boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I pulled that out during the week. When I do my meal plan and I pull all the meat out of the freezer. So that's what I've been doing. I also have some that are not looking so great, so we got to use them up. The summer squash. What is going on here? Zipper. He needs attention. Anyway, so I thought, and I also have this bag of tomatoes that's been on the back of the fridge. They're getting a little mushy, but they're not that bad. They're still pretty firm, and I'm just gonna, we're just gonna wing it, right? So I'm gonna get these going, saute them up, and then they have a tomato herb sauce in them, so I'm just gonna make it bigger, and I'm gonna expand on it. Chop up some of these, throw that in there, dice them up, and chop up some of the smooshier tomatoes, get those going in there, saute them down, put some more Italian herbs in there, and we're gonna call it good. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I just did the big summer squash, and then I did one small one, and one of the big tomatoes, and I'm just trying to simmer these down with some olive oil in here. These are partially cooked now, but I figure while these are cooking, they'll all cook together, and then I'll get some more sauce going. I'm going to add some Italian seasoning in here. Garlic powder. I just added salt, but I forgot to have that going. Pepper. And there we go. A little Parmesan cheese and we're good. Okay, so hopefully this week has inspired you to either do some look beyond the normal things you would put in lunches or snacks and dinners and use what you have and get into that freezer. Get creative. Ignore my child in the background that's meowing nonstop. And just throw things together. I get so excited when I'm like, oh my God, yeah, let me do this. Let me put this with this, and that's brilliant. And you know what? I just realized I never finished my thought earlier. I'm so bad at that. I'm gonna make egg salad for lunches this week. I have stuff for my husband's sandwiches, but I know eggs are expensive, but I have a lot of eggs right now. I'm very blessed to have some eggs. I got some fresh eggs. I got some eggs from Costco, and I also got some clearance eggs from my Flash Food. So I thought, well, maybe I'll make a few up and just do some egg salad. They were hard-boiled eggs that I got like $1.24 for a 6-pack of them, and they're already peeled and hard-boiled, and why not, right? So I made deviled eggs with them, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll make some egg salad up because I haven't had that forever and it sounds really good. So I think I'm going to do that. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it inspired you. And guess what? I'm going to do it in February too because I'm pretty proud of myself. Pretty proud the dent that I made in the freezer. The fun I have using what I have in the fridge, and like I may buy a produce box like from Flash Food, but I use it, and then when it's used, then I go on and buy another one for fresh produce. But I've used frozen. Some things you don't see in this video, you would have to see some of my other videos. Like I've been doing a lot of canning, pressure canning, and I've been using meats that I've got either from Flash Food or from out of my freezer, pulling them out and putting them together with frozen vegetables I have in the freezer, stuff like that, and making up soups and canning those for the shelf. I've done a great job. I'm very proud of myself, and I'm going to do it in February too. I might as well. I'm really liking this. I don't need any food, people. I don't need any food. So I like to use my creative side and figure that out. I got this. You got this. I can do this. So anyway, that being said, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell, and it'll tell you every time I come out with a new video. If you don't want to be notified, you don't have to click the all, but it'll still subscribe you, so that way if you need to find me, you can find me easily, because I know what that's like when you subscribe to a lot of people and you can't find the person you're looking for. I get it. I have a lot of people I subscribe to. So, I think that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And I will see you in February for Low Spend February. Cheers!